Hello everyone and welcome to Sinful Gaming. I hope you're all doing well, I hope you're all staying safe, and most of all, I hope you're all fighting that war against the Grey. Today's video, we're going to do a Blacklight review, and today we're going to check out Shadowsun, The Patient Hunter by Phil Kelly. Now, as always, I do like to listen to my Black Library stuff via an audio version, whether that be Audible from the Black Library app or just a direct download from Black Library. This is generally how I like to consume it, like to listen to them while I do a variety of other hobby-related projects alongside, but I think they also add a ton for it. This particular story is narrated by Helen McAlpine. She did a really cool job at bringing Shadowsun to life. I thought she was fantastic in this, so great job. But with that said, let's get talking about this particular story of one of the Tau Empire's most impressive commanders. And so, the story here is Commander Oshasera, better known to all of us as Commander Shadowsun, is an ice-cold military genius celebrated across the Chalnath expanse. She is the master of the stealth battlesuit assault and the Kaoyun meta strategy, a philosophy of war that emulates the patient hunter. But how to lay a trap for the chaos-worshipping warriors of the Death Guard, whose ancient technology allows their fleet to rip holes in space. And how to deal with their demonic patrons who defy the laws of physics and shatter the logical methods that Shadowsun and indeed the Tau Empire as a whole hold so dear. With her forces spread far and wide on the dark side of the Great Rift, effectively Imperium Nihilus, Shadowsun must respond to a surprise attack on the Startide Nexus wormhole portal. Worse yet, as hidden atrocities and treacheries are laid bare, the threat of civil war simmers between the Tau and their allies. If she is to stand a chance, the Tau's finest commander will have to improvise, trust to instinct, and face the unnatural echoes of her empire's own dark secrets. And so, this story's purpose. This story brings us, first of all, Shadowsun into the modern 40k universe, and indeed the Tau along with her. This really sort of updates us, brings us into looking at the Tau in Imperium Nihilus, how they've sort of thought about how the galaxy works around them thanks to this giant rent in space and time. And the Great Rift itself is bringing a lot of issues into the Tau Empire, because obviously the Tau think of psyches as mind science. They think of it as science as something that can be understood when it very much is essentially magic. And so this truly does start to push many within the Tau Empire and even some of the very higher ups to question their own beliefs and the own things they've been told by their ruling caste, the Ethereals. What's more, the many and very different allies of the Tau have different theories on this as well, but also they have started to gain their own beliefs and visions of what they believe the greater good to be, and this does include, in many instances, believing the greater good to be something to be worshipped. This does lead to many troubling times amongst the Tau and their allies, and this story will take a definite look at how the Tau and their allies act in this new 40k universe. I say new, but it has been around for a while now with Imperium Nihilus. We're, 3 editions in now going on? So it's not exactly new, but you get what I'm saying. And so our main character is Commander Shadowsun, currently the head of the Fire caste within the Tau Empire. She is the foremost commander, taught by Commander Puretide, along with obviously the now excommunicated Commander Farsight, but your story is all about her. She is 100% the focus in some of these stories where you get, the named characters fitting on. This is very much more like the Lion we just reviewed, more than Angron. She is 100% the main focal point of the story, which is really cool. She's a really interesting character, a really strong, powerful female lead role is amazing to see. That has such a massive impact on her own force. And so, over the course of the story, what does change about Commander Shadowsun? And I don't want to say too much to spoil it. This is a really fun story, and I think a lot of things do change over the course of the story. Shadowsun, I think the big conundrum of this whole story is her faith in the Ethereals and indeed the greater good. That is really what the story hinges on, and her beliefs will change dramatically from where she is this stoic believer in the greater good and in the Ethereals. She really does have some crises of faith within this, and at potential times can almost seem like she maybe is going to go down the Commander Farsight path, that she is losing faith in those Ethereals, those ruling caste of the Tau Empire, and indeed the other caste of her Tau Empire, and then its allies as well. she's seeing many other things happen, and I think this whole sort of how she views the Empire as a whole is the big changes that happen to her as a character, and really interesting. But not just that as well, not only Shadowsun has these views and changes, many within the Tau Empire are starting to have these different views and changes, and it's not quite the harmonious thing it once was. And so, what does this book do well, though? Shadowsun really is a big thing that makes this book great. She's a strong lead character. She's powerful, yet she is sometimes overconfident. She has this, sort of thing that makes a good, I guess, heroes. Obviously, I use the word hero loosely. There are no heroes in Warhammer 40k. But, this whole, she is strong. She can beat most opponents, but she has these flaws. She's overconfident at times, she's somewhat foolhardy, and she's inquisitive, which to a Tau is not the best thing to be when you go against lots of people around you. It makes for an interesting character and a strong lead, power with flaws. That's what you want in your lead character. You want them to be able to have obstacles to overcome, not just be a Mary Sue. But another thing I really like about this book, a nice touch, is the different species that we get a look at through times within this, through the Tau Empire, and indeed the interaction between them and each other, different species, and them and the Tau. Obviously, there are some that are more common. We see Kroot in this, for example. We also see some much weirder races, like psychic races in the Empire as well. Other sort of races that aren't mentioned. And this is something, I think, for me, as Tau, I really want to see more on the tabletop. I know this is going a little bit sidetracky, but I think that is how you start expanding the Tau army, is start giving me more interesting alien units to bring into the Tau Empire. That is how this army expands. And so, who would like this book, though? And I think this is pretty self-explanatory. If you like the Tau, this is going to be a book for you. This is the big sort of time in the modern 40k. This has obviously come out not long after we got the Commander Farsight in the cool book for the Arcs of Omen. So I really, really like that we've got this now as well. This gives us, an update on the other major sort of player in that. We haven't sort of heard from Alvar, who I guess is going to be the other major player in the Tau, giving us our three major sort of parties. But I think, if you're a Tau Empire fan, this is a really great book for Tau fans. It's got some good adversaries to go up against that really do question a lot of things for the Tau and make for an interesting listen or read, however you do it. And so, in summary, a strong lead here gives us an entertaining story that has many twists and turns along the way. Strong revelations as well, not just for our characters though, Shadowsun and the other bit part players, the secondary characters within the story, but as the faction as a whole for the Tau, I think really moves forward massively with the story. And I'll be really interested to see how things progress. The ending of this is really, really great. I heavily recommend this. If you picked up Shadowsun, The Patient Hunter by Phil Kelly, and you've read or listened to it, I'd love to hear your own thoughts on it. I thought this was really fun, really engaging. I smashed this out in a couple of days. It was super fun and super easy to listen to. Like I said before, Helen McAlpine on the audio version made this super easy to listen to with a really well performed role. But really enjoyable. Let us know your thoughts about it though down in the comments below. I'd love to hear from everyone. And so that's the end of the video. We hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel down below. And also, don't forget to drop a comment down below letting us know what you enjoyed about the video. If you'd like to come chat more with me and other members of our great little community here at Sinful Gaming, we have a Discord server that's linked down in the video's description. Also linked down in the video's description are the best ways to help support the channel. Either by grabbing yourself some channel merch, either through our Ko-fi or Teespring stores, or by supporting us directly via Patreon and YouTube members. As a special thank you to everyone who does support the channel via Patreon and YouTube members, we'd like to give you all a shout out. So thank you to our Patreons, Christian Weir, Soren, Kenny Lyle, Outer and Shot First, Andrew Bowen, Cure Dynamic, JJ Austrian, Average Wargamer, Domir, Mark Harvey, James Cater, Benjamin Swallows, Red Martin, Iron Grinch, Colorblind Magic, Grimscold, and Andy C. And to our YouTube members, Green Roots Gaming, Ronya, Lock Lorick, The Johnny84, Broken Chef, Ariana Edwards, Revan R, Pink Nico Fire, Robin Mankiller, Monty's Tabletop Terrain, James Tillman, Disco, and John Castle. And a special thanks to Lady Witchfox R and all the amazing people who do the moderation of our Discord server and groups who make everything we do possible. Thank you all so much once again for watching, for supporting the channel. Stay safe, stay well, and most of all, keep fighting that war against the grey. Ciao for now.